It's going to be 2 free throws. True contact on the shot.
You know, they've changed their game here in the second. Getting a little bit more physical, playing with some toughness now.
And, you know, this lead is going to grow if they can continue to get to the free throw line.
For the Cavaliers, Mozgov, he's checked in for Love. Tristan Thompson comes in for LeBron. And it's Matthew Dellavedova in for Shumpert. And a change for the Bulls. Butler's checked in. Stolen by Rose. Now here's Rose, the fast break opportunity. And the shot is good. Dunleavy's got 9 points.
So nice to have a guy like that who can take charge at any time.
Yeah, so many of his passes, Steve, have led directly to baskets.
Smith wide open. He fired. Good, and the assist goes to Irving. And that's 13 points for J.R. Smith. Butler, no luck.
Hey, Kevin.
And now the start of the second half. Neither side jumping out ahead through the first 2 quarters. You have to like what we're seeing from J.R. Smith.
Boy, he put on a show from the three-point line in the first half, didn't he? We'll see if the halftime break had any cooling effect on him.
Yeah, we'll soon find out because I guarantee they're going to keep feeding it to him behind the arc until he does cool off.
Thompson is out there with Kevin Love. Then there's J.R. Smith. Then there's Iman Shumpert. And it's Irving in at the point guard position. That's the 5 for Cleveland right now. And the whistle blows as the basket counts and a 3-point play chance right here. 1 free throw coming up. LeBron, he's checked in for Tristan Thompson. For Chicago, they have shot 75% at the stripe, 6 of 8.
Well, a tough shooting slump for Jimmy Butler last season. Some injuries took him out of rhythm. He was asked to play a bigger role offensively after Luol Deng was traded. Still, he's become one of the premier defensive players in the league.
From the sideline, let's catch up with Doris Burke.
Yes, Kevin, the Bulls, known for their hard-nosed style of play, something Coach Tom Thibodeau calls, quote, Chicago talk. Center Joakim Noah said, I don't think our style would work everywhere. It represents our city. Our whole thing is playing with more of an edge than the other team. He added, we aren't scared of anybody. Guys?
They don't back down. Thanks, Doris. The Cavaliers have gone 3 of 4 at the free throw line tonight.
And you look at the numbers from a year ago, guys, this is a club that hit about 75% of its free throws.
And Jimmy Butler, a fan favorite in Chicago, taken with the 30th pick, Clark, back in 2011. And he really is a tenacious defender.
Yeah, he's a tough-minded, scrappy player. I mean, you hear about his tough upbringing. It's easy to see why he approaches the game with that fearlessness and determination that he plays with. Derrick Rose has always had an effective floater. It's a must-have shot for any point guard. He said he developed it on the playgrounds of Southside Chicago. He didn't call fouls, so you just had to find a way to get your shot off before the contact.
Irving kicks to Shumpert. Oh, good with the triple. The Bulls leading by 9. The kick out to Rose. First minute and a half of basketball here in the third quarter. It's stolen by Smith. Here's Irving. And he takes that one up and powers it through.
Boy, the kind of moments you love to see. Excellent defense leading to a dunk at the other end.
Clark, you got to marvel at the transition game when they've got it clicking. It's really explosive.
High octane for sure.
Oof. Yeah, turning defensive pressure into offensive opportunities, that's what it's all about.
And Rose working to develop his floater with, Steve, his left hand as well.
Well, you don't see many players who can make a floater with either hand. I mean, something like that with his quickness, that would be impossible to defend. He can be a forgotten man in their offense sometimes, but, you know, the defense still needs to keep an eye on him.
And so here's Cleveland, trailing by 10. Irving kicks to James. Good work defensively by Gasol.
Usually if he gets to the rim, he's converting it into points. But the defense stood tall there.
Cleveland's gone 0-2 from deep to start things here in the second half. LeBron with it. And Rose picks him up defensively. The basket drops and he gets fouled on the shot. 1 free throw coming his way.
Defense pretty much helpless there, stopping that layup. I think too much of a mismatch in terms of height.
Mirotic is checked in for Mike Dunleavy. Double team on Rose. And so here's Cleveland. The Cavaliers trail by 7.
Cleveland didn't quite meet their expectations last year, in part by how poor they shot at home. Hard to get wins when everything you put up seems to rim out.
Inside to Gasol. Back to Rose. Pass to Noah. Some nice ball movement by the Bulls. Rose, no good.
If he can improve on what's been a shaky day for him thus far, they could stretch this lead out.
Chicago making some changes. Taj Gibson's checked in for Noah. Heinrich comes in for Jimmy Butler. And Brooks subbed in for Derrick Rose. The drive by Brooks. Oh, and they get in the way of the alley-oop. Not to be. Good play defensively. And then Irving slams it.
Textbook example there of how to use defense to create offense.
Yeah, beautiful transition play after the steal all the way to the basket.
Wasted no time going from defense to offense.
Well, it feels like they're starting to pick up the intensity as the game itself starts to get a little more tight and close.
The Bulls leading by 5. In the third quarter with just over 3.5 minutes on the clock. Gasol dishes to Gibson. Heinrich kicks to Brooks. Good, and Heinrich gets the assist. Brooks has got 5.
I like the offensive awareness to exploit that lack of coverage on that play.
The drive by LeBron. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
Well, last year LeBron mentioned that he's jealous of Durant's shot totals. Just an offhanded remark by him, but he did open up some speculation by what he meant.
And you know that remark by LeBron, people weren't sure if that was a backhanded jab at KD or if he was just pointing out how he is able to score without having to be a bulk shooter.
Well, one thing is for sure, I'm not exactly sure of what his comments, how you should interpret them, but LeBron was very aware of what Durant was doing last year. He even admitted to having KD's stats sent to his phone after every game, so he was keeping track of it.
The Bulls leading by 6. 1:39 left here in the third quarter. Poked loose and stolen by Kyrie Irving. The feed to Mozgov. Here's Shumpert. Mirotic grabs the miss. Mirotic has got his 3rd rebound on the night.
Just an enormous advantage for them on the boards.
Guys, the key to the lead, to me, has been they've dominated the glass. It's that simple.
Heinrich kicks to Mirotic. Brooks with no one around. Nailed from three-point land. Brooks has got 2 now from beyond the arc in the 3rd for Chicago. The Cavaliers trail by 9. The drive by James, and that one is stuffed right through.
Signature basket for him there. You know, they can turn this deficit around pretty quickly if he gets on a roll.
And he gets it to go. And the Bulls lead by 9.
Intelligent passing there to make that hoop possible.
Cavaliers have gone 5 of 12 from the field since the 3rd quarter got underway. And there's the call on James. That will be foul number 5 on him.
Terrific defensive play to cut him off and square up.
And he took a shot, excellent toughness to get in there and make a play. I love that kind of work.
Tristan Thompson, he's checked in for Cleveland. Brooks, the best to Heinrich. And Gibson kicks to Mirotic. 6 to shoot. Lets it fly. That drops and it comes off an assist from Brooks. And now it's an 11-point Chicago lead. Cleveland's gotten off to a very slow start from three-point range in the second half. They're 0 for 4. Gets it off, and it would have counted had it fallen, but While we have the chance now, folks, let's go to our State Farm assist of the game.
I was hoping we'd get a chance to see this one again. Thank you, Lonnie, and the truck for showing. But it's passing like this that makes the basketball purists happy. This is the beauty of the game right here.
On the court for the Bulls, getting this fourth quarter started. D. Rose and Jimmy Butler at the back. Inside at the 4 and 5 are Gasol and Noah. And it's Dunleavy in at the small forward. Smith drives in. From 16 feet away, he pins it. Smith's got the fourth quarter going with the first basket of the period here for Cleveland. The Bulls leading by 9. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. Clark, a bit of a downward shooting-wise for Kyrie Irving last season.
Yeah, it sure was, and you heard some sources within the Cavs organization questioning his leadership, too. I mean, the chemistry in Cleveland, not really where it needed to be, kind of a mess all season, quite honestly. And Irving is still young and has a lot on his shoulders and maybe started to show some of the frustration with the expectations and demands that have been placed on him. But now, you know, as he continues to grow as a leader, having LeBron James there and some other veterans who've come in should really help smooth that out for the young stand-up.
Here's Thompson, and it's going to be out of bounds. The Bulls will take it.
Well, that's a major mental mistake. I mean, there's no other way for me to describe it. He didn't know where he was on the court. That's a basic fundamental. You have to be alert to where you are.
And Cleveland making a change here. Shumpert's checked in. Rose against Irving. Rose kicks to Dunleavy. Dishes to Butler. The 8-footer. And the rejection by Love. Smith outside. Once again off the mark by Cleveland. And for Irving, a chance to learn from the best player in the world. On winning more games, I think it'll really help his development as a player and a leader, too.
That's guaranteed.
Rose, no good.
He's still looking for his first three-pointer of the second half. Making just one in the first.
And the Cavaliers call time here. Now, a lot of people thought, Steve, that Chicago had a chance last year to do much when Derrick Rose went down, but they stuck with it and ended up in the playoffs nonetheless.
And they didn't just make the playoffs, but they had home court advantage in the first round as well.
Let's go quickly over to Doris Burke for an update.
Well, over the break, I listened in on David Blatt's huddle. He doesn't think they've been giving it their all, saying they've been quicker to rebounds, to every loose ball. We gotta wake up. The game's slipping away, and we're letting it happen. We have got to take control of this thing. We'll see if he lit a fire under them, guys.
And the Cavaliers making a change here. James is checked in. The Bulls leading by 8.
Unfortunately for the Bulls, home court advantage really didn't do much for them as they dropped their first 2 games at home and were bounced in the first round. Another example of why home court advantage is desired, but it doesn't necessarily guarantee anything in the playoffs. Matchups drive results.
Irving against Rose. Irving drives in. Out to Shumpert from the arc. Another miss by Shumpert.
Well, the Bulls ran into a solid Wizards team and lost in the first round of the playoffs. It looked to me like they might have been worn down. And I think a healthy Bulls team with a little more depth is definitely a threat to go deeper this season.
Well, I think he shot the ball well, guys, but I don't think he shot it enough. The more shots he gets from here on out, the more they'll stretch out this lead.
And a wide open look for Irving. Good, and the assist goes to James. James has got 4 assists in the game.
You're going to be waiting a long time if you're waiting for him to miss that when he's that open.
On its way from Rose for 2. The Cavaliers pull it in.